Entrepreneurship is a game of effective problem solving. And the key to effectively problem solve is to make good decisions at each step of the way. In this video, we're going to make the point that the easiest way of making bad decisions is equivocating the framework under which you look to each decision. We're going to provide two clear frameworks that you can use to understand exactly what kind of decision are you involved in so that you are able to make the correct choice at each step of the way. Hello everyone, LEÓN Castillo here, CEO and founder of Selfmastered. If you don't know me, I'm the CEO of a company that teaches entrepreneurs how to operate at peak performance so they can get what they want faster. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because we release a few juicy videos every week to help people like you scale their businesses much faster. So today I want to discuss something that I believe makes total sense to introduce the subject of this series, which is decision making. In the first video, we discussed why the best way of being smart is actually avoiding being stupid, right? By making sure we know exactly what it is that we're deciding on, that we have the correct data, that we do not mismanage our expectations, that we not fall for groupthink, or we leverage the weight of an authority in our decision making to the detriment of the truth that we're pursuing. And that's the first step, right? So how to make sure that we're not stupid when deciding. So once you have that, then what happens? Well, in order to take effective decisions, you need to know what type of decision are you taking based on the risk the decision has, and also what kind of decision it is based on the processes that it relates to. And based on these two frameworks, there are basically two types of decisions. So based on the type of decision that is based on the processes and the systems within the business, we have program decisions and unprogrammed decisions. Program decisions are those that belong to some sort of routine, some sort of system. They are expected. And in entrepreneurship, this can be really anything that is repeated over time. It can be related to marketing. So how many social media assets are we going to build in the next quarter? It can be related to HR. How many people do we need to hire to support the new business functions? These are things that will eventually come if we keep doing the things that we are doing. It's something that can be, in a way, forecasted. And the unprogrammed decisions are those that cannot be forecasted because they just happen. Things that come your way. Normally, these things tend to be negative events because a good entrepreneur is always planning ahead and foreseeing what can go wrong. So based on this framework, so what are routine decisions and what are non-routine, so program or unprogrammed, you need to think, what is this decision that I'm in need of making in this spectrum? How routine it is? If you have been doing your job well as an entrepreneur, you should constantly be facing unexpected, non-programmed decisions because those are the ones that have the most leverage. The routine tasks, the things that don't carry much weight, tend to be repetitive in nature. So if you keep deciding time and time again about the same stuff, then you're probably not graduating yourself to the higher level problems that come with business growth. So this is the first KPI you need to look at. Is this a program decision or a non-program decision? If it's a program decision, how many times have you had to make this decision before? And why is that? Why isn't somebody else taking care of that decision? If you have been in business for quite some years, you probably shouldn't be the one calling the shots on how many social media posts are you going to publish in the next week. That's somebody else's job. You should be drafting strategic partnership, reacting to supply chain management problems. Those are unexpected decisions that imply higher leverage. So that's framework number one. Based on the process or the system the decision belongs to. And what's framework number two? Well, framework number two is related to risk, how risky a decision is. And based on risk, there's two types of decision. And this is a framework that comes from Jeff Bezos himself, the CEO of Amazon. And he says that to him, there's two types of decisions. Type 1 is those that are irreversible, high consequence, very difficult to reverse. So they need to be taken very seriously. They need to be very weighted upon. Make sure you have all the data. Make sure that we are actually focused on signal and not noise. And make sure that we have some sort of way of knowing if we actually make the right call. That's type 1 decisions. Type 2 decisions are fast, intuitive. Those decisions that can be easily reversed so they don't carry that much weight. And in Bezos' framework, those type 2 decisions need to be taken as quickly as possible because that's how you generate momentum. That's how you go fast in your company. Type 1 decisions have to be taken slowly, consulting all the stakeholders of that decision and ideally agreeing on some sort of consensus that can make sure that all incentives are aligned within the company. In his view, there's two types of ways a company can go wrong. Type 1 is when all those fast decisions are taken slowly, so that over time that creates unnecessary waste, that stifles innovation, breeds complacency, and those companies tend to get outcompeted. So that's one way decision making can go wrong in terms of risk. The other way is just the opposite, taking slow decisions fast, so you do not weigh the risk, so you are just carelessly deciding and moving forward and pushing ever without really weighing what is at stake. And that's how most companies eventually go bankrupt, because they don't minimize the risks. So every time you need to look at a decision, and just as a wrap-up, think about, is it something that is programmed or is it something that is unprogrammed? If it's programmed, chances are that you have done this before. So you should look for ways of systematizing and automating and delegating those decisions, because they tend to carry low leverage. If, on the other way, you are facing things you haven't seen before, that is probably signaling a bigger problem or a bigger opportunity. And that's when you need to go all in and really weight your decisions very carefully. And based on risk, if you are taking normally a program decision, so something that has low risk and low leverage, take those very, very quickly. Move fast, generate momentum, teach your team to really don't overthink stuff. On the other hand, if you have a big thing that cannot be reversed, ideally that's a non-program decision too. Those are one that need to be very, very well thought out. So hopefully this was useful. This is the second video of the series about decision making. We want to empower you, aspiring successful entrepreneur, to not make unnecessary mistakes in your quest towards success. So this is it for today. Please like, subscribe, comment, do everything you guys know you need to do so we can keep growing and keep delivering this value to you. And of course, if you think we can help you accelerate your performance, we're more than happy to have a chat. Just let us know how can we help you, and we'll get in contact. Thank you very much.